be talking about remittance in the United States. So I'm going to be referring to the graph, which is entitled Remittance Inflows to GDP for the US. But before discussing the graph, we're going to talk about remittance first. I know you're probably wondering, what is remittance? Why is she using this word over and over again? What's the big deal? So the definition of remittance is a sum of money sent in payment for a good or service. So when we think of remittance, we want to think of migrant workers who are sent to a country to work on a work visa or through a company that allows them to go to another country, work, and then send that money back home. So remittance is a big or major economic resource for developing countries. So a lot of developing countries have a strong reliability on remittance as a part of economic stability in that country. So you're probably wondering, how does the U.S. play a part in another country's economy when it comes to remittance? Well, the U.S. makes up 94% of remittance in the globe. So we have the most immigrants come to our country to work on work visa or through a company and send that money back home. That's what a lot of people come to the U.S. for. Some might not even be through a work visa or through a company. They just might move to the U.S., work, become a citizen, work, and then send that money back. So it is a major role. We play a major role when it comes to remittance in other countries. So when we look at the chart, we can see that the remittance inflow during certain periods dropped and some were really spiky. So for instance of a drop, around 1980, there is a sharp drop in remittance, and it declines for a pretty steady amount. But then we see a huge increase in 1985. So keep in mind that the shaded areas on the graph are times of recession, so it might have some type of impact or role in that. And also immigration reforms during that time period might have an effect on whether there's an increase or a drop in remittance inflows in the U.S. So we see now towards the 2015 time period, there's a steadily declining of remittance in the U.S. So it might create a negative effect on GDP. So you're probably wondering, what does this have in relation to the business market and to the financial market? So when it comes to business market, the people who come to work to the U.S. are coming to work, so that means they are supplying either a good or service. So employers might look to companies and other resources to receive employees to work who know that will work on a minimum wage status, well, a minimum wage amount. So they will come over, they'll go be like, hey, I need some workers. Do you have anybody that's able to do this, that is skilled in this area? They come, they work, and then they supply a service or a good that later on we as consumers consume. So that also boosts the GDP because that's productivity. And so as the more immigrants or migrants we have come on work visas, the more workers we have to provide a service, which means we'll have more production, we'll have higher production being produced. So how does it affect the financial market? Well, the U.S. acts as a big sustainer, I guess you could say, in other countries' financial markets. So we act as a financial external source for developing countries. So we play a big impact on the financial markets. So that's all I have, and yeah.